on loan out.
Yeah, 2 were on loan out,
Yes.
exactly. But the rest of the kids had resumes behind them, so everybody knew the drill. And I think it was an unspoken rule. After you worked the first day with Lucy, you did your job.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
didn't mess around. It was extremely disciplined. And as surprising as it was, with all the Christmas scene and the whole thing like that, everybody did their thing, and there was no issues. We all had so much fun working together, and we literally became a family.
Nice.
We
By the
did.
time you got hired, how long did it take to film the entire movie?
I
Do you
think we
remember?
were on it for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. You said Paramount Studios, but also at another studio.
Yeah, across the street. Back in the day, Melrose. There was the gate at Melrose, and across the street, and there was Western Costume Company, which was right down the street, and right across the street was Producer's Studio, and that's where a lot of films were made, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and things that, if the studio lots were full and all the sound stages were being used, they would move or build sets at Producer's Studio. So they ended up building the entire interior of the Beardsley house on the set over at Producer Studio.
Is that where Raleigh Studios?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's
yeah,
it?
Same
Okay.
thing. They just called it Producer Studio back
Producer
then.
Studio. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you remember your most memorable moment on the set? Or a scene?
You know, there were so many, but I remember being in the wedding scene out at San Fernando Mission. It was 106 degrees.
Oh, so you should be used
And
to this.
there was no air conditioning in the Mission. And Lucille had to be in this suit, this wedding suit. And everybody was just wilting, just wilting. And we were so hot. And the boys, we'd all sit out on the grass, while they were doing some of the close-ups inside. And that was the year that Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the Beatles came out, and Gary Getzman, who plays Greg in this, he is now a huge producer with Tom Hanks. I mean, this guy is phenomenal in Hollywood. And Gary had the tape recorder with this. It was great, and we're all just trying to sing and keep cool, but it was wonderful. And the other thing that was amazing for me was Henry Fonda. Lucy bought us all the girls one day. She came on set and she handed out needlepoint kits.
Oh.
Okay, she gave the boys something different, but she gave all the girls needlepoint kits. I don't know how to needlepoint. And so I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out, what do I do with this? I want to look like, I love this, but I don't know what I'm doing. And Henry came over and sat in his director's chair next to me. And he goes, here, let me help you with that.
Wow.
He taught me how to needlepoint.
Henry Fonda.
And to this day, I still needlepoint things, and I always remember he sat there and showed me stitches, and that's what he did for therapy, believe it or not. He'd sit in his director's chair and he'd just do that. It was the most bizarre thing, but it was the most amazing, touching moment for me because he cared. He was an actor who cared so much, no matter if you were a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was the same thing. It was the same thing with Lucy. I learned from her how to be a consummate professional. I learned, and I never forgot it, because she knew everybody's job on that set. She knew her lighting. She knew directing. Mel Shavelson basically just kind of went, okay, whatever you want, She knew, and she'd be standing in a spot, and she'd go, I need that a little bit,
She knows.
It was incredible, and I learned how to be a professional. She was never late. She never held anybody up. She knew every line. She knew everybody else's motivation. It was incredible, incredible. We've lost that today, I think.
I'm just like speechless right now because I'm listening